So I've opened up my Stark Brothers order, and I've got my Bareroot perennials here soaking in the pond. I'm gonna put these gloves on. I've got 2 elderberries and 1 gooseberry. Hinanmaki red gooseberry and York and Nova elderberries. It's important to place the root mass above where you're going to dig so you can ensure that the hole you're making is large enough for the width of the roots. Luckily, since my containers were in this area, the soil has been disturbed and the mulch has broken down, so there is enough organic matter here that I feel comfortable planting it straight into the soil without amending it. You could amend with coco coir or peat moss if you feel the need to do so for water retention. There is the red gooseberry planted at the edge of this bed. That's where my old rosemary container was. I've wanted to plant something in this particular corner for a very long time now. I've decided after some back and forth with myself that the hyssop bush that is over by my pear tree should be relocated. So I'm going to be digging this out for the hyssop bush. I did add some compost and a little bit of peat moss to this planting hole that I am now incorporating into the clay soil. This is a pretty compacted area of the garden that gets a lot of water flow, so I am hoping that by adding more organic matter, it will increase the drainage in this area and help the hyssop bush get a better start. After placing the hyssop bush into the planting hole and backfilling with soil, I am now going around and firming it down. I will add more soil in whatever gaps that I can find to make sure that everything is even so water doesn't pool in any one specific spot, but that's her all relocated. I was going to put the elderberries there, but I decided I'd rather put them between the 2 pear trees because I have to relocate this tree. I have to relocate that one behind one of the beds, and then I'm going to put the elderberries in between the trees. I like that idea. In order to safely relocate this tree, I've decided to go out about a foot perimeter and gently dig into the soil and sort of lever it up and out of the soil. I did plant this tree last year, so I do think it has established a little bit, but I do not think it has been long enough for these roots to spread any farther than 12 inches. Okay, so I got the Bareroot tree out. It does have some good root growth and tons of worms. Oh my gosh, tons of worms in here. Preparing the planting hole for the tree is very similar to how we did it for the hyssop, if not the exact same. We're going to add in a little bit of peat moss, a little bit of compost, and make sure that the hole that we're creating is about a 1 foot, 1 square foot to fit the root ball. Of course, we're going to want to make sure that we do not bury the graft union and that it remains an appropriate amount above the soil. But other than that, it's a small enough root ball that this is going to be pretty quick. The elderberries are planted directly into the clay soil. I did not do any additional amendments of compost or peat moss. In general, elderberries are pretty hardy plants, and I don't think they need the extra fuss, so I've just decided to plant them as is. Okay, so we planted and moved a bunch of stuff. Let's do a recap while I water everybody in. All right, down here we have the Hinan Maki red gooseberry. Give that a drink from the pond. All right, let's hope that transplants well. I think it'll do better in ground. I tried to keep it in a container last time and it just kept drying out too quickly. So I think it'll appreciate the way that this soil holds water. All right, the hyssop bush got relocated and therefore needs a drink as well. Okay, so we're gonna go down the line here and we are gonna water in the pear tree that we relocated and our 2 elderberries. That's all I could squeeze in for today, guys, and the garbage truck is here. I'm sure you hear it. Catch you on the next one.